2nd and 11.
Easy now. Rambo! 59! Get on the ball! Get on the ball! Rambo!
Who knows where that's going to end? Well, let's go, because we're all excited that football is here. It's a sense of relief. It's our normal. We love it. Let's talk about your thoughts. I'm going to start with you, Coach Williams. What are your thoughts for Rookie of the Year?
Man, that's a tough one. I mean,
it's a loaded question for week one, that's for sure.
Truly is. We saw the running back from Kansas City. Was it Edwards-Hilaire do a really good job with over 100 yards the first week. Oddly enough, he's an LSU guy. So my choice is going to be, the Burroughs kid out of LSU going to Cincinnati. I mean, I think he's going to have a chance to really be really be a good leader for that team. They need it. I mean, and they've got some pieces around him. So, I'm pulling for him, but right now I'd make that choice.
Okay, interesting. You know what? I was thinking the same thing when you brought up Clyde. Okay, Coach Broussard, what are your thoughts for Rookie of the Year, NFL?
Rookie of the Year. I think it's an easy answer. I think it's going to be CeeDee Lamb from the Dallas Cowboys. I loved him out of the draft. I thought it was a brilliant pick, and I feel like everybody that didn't pick him is going to regret it. I think he's going to be the star. He's going to be he's going to be the gem of the draft, no doubt about it. And he's going to win Rookie of the Year. He's going to make multiple Pro Bowls, 4 or 5 Pro Bowls at least. And I think him with Dak and all the other weapons that they have in the run game, I think CeeDee's going to get a lot of action, and he's going to put up numbers. And I think he's going to be our rookie of the year.
What do you guys think of Josh Jacobs?
Love him. I think he was a steal. He's one of my favorite young running backs. I think he has a strong chance to lead the league in rushing this year. I think he's probably going to be the best pro running back that we've seen come out of Alabama. He's going to be by far better than Trent Richardson. I think he's going to be better than Mark Ingram. I think he's going to be a multiple Pro Bowler, and I really like what he's doing. And then I think Chucky's going to use him the right way. Gruden loves the run game.
Okay, well, there's been a lot of talk going on about Tampa Bay, okay? Everyone's been very excited to watch this game because of Brady and Gronk back together, okay? But what are your thoughts? Now, either one of you guys can start. Here, what are your thoughts? Does the team look better on paper than they do actually on the field? Do you think that maybe it's all this hype about Tampa Bay was just a little too much? What are your thoughts on this, coaches?
Go first, Coach.
I think fans were expecting, 30-year-old Tom Brady to walk through the door. I think they were expecting prime Tom Brady to walk through the door, and although he's still better than half the quarterbacks in the NFL, you're not going to get what you expected. And then, a lot of the moves that they made were players with big names, headliners, Gronk, LaShawn McCoy, but these names are all past their prime. So you're not going to get the player that you expect. Yeah. You're going to get a good player that's serviceable. But I'm
kind of excited that you just said that they're beyond their prime, because it's a true thing. It's a true statement.
It is true.
We definitely saw bitter Brady on the field today. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Coach Williams, what are your thoughts about Tampa Bay? Did like you said, their big names are good on paper, but they didn't really do too great on the field. What are your thoughts?
Well, I disagree, and I would go the other way. And my expectation is that, you'll see these guys become a pretty potent offense. And I actually think that, on paper, it looks like the best offense in the league. And I think they can become that. I mean, you've got a great coach. Bruce Arians is a wonderful offensive mind, and that guy's going to have a veteran quarterback who's got a chip on his shoulder and a reason to want to win. And once again, we talked about it earlier. I mean, these guys didn't have, 4 preseason games. They didn't get any of that work. So I would expect that once you start hitting that stride in Game 5, I mean, we're talking about very talented young guys on the outsides at wide receiver with Evans and the other kid that's there. I can't think of his name right now, but
Goodwin.
Those 2 guys, who is it?
Chris Goodwin.
Yeah, Goodwin. Yeah, those guys are awesome young talents. And I think Gronk, all he has to do is be a be a supporting role type of player. I mean,
Well, it's only week 1, so we definitely will be coming back and checking in on Tampa Bay, see how Gronk's doing, giving up his wrestling career for this. Do you guys think it was a good move? I don't know about that. It's a good thing it's only week 1, and we are so happy that football is back. Okay, let's get to the open floor with the coaches. We're going to do this open floor where they're going to pick a headline, maybe something that's going on in the news, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. And we're going to start with you, Coach Broussard. What are your thoughts? What are you going to talk about for open floor?
I think I would not do if I did not speak about the stance that a lot of the players are taking in regards to unity, bringing mankind and together, and bringing attention to the social injustice that has been highlighted in our country recently. And so I think, I'd like to applaud the players for the steps that they're making in the right direction to get the attention of the owners, who are the decision makers, who have, your local politicians on speed dial. And our local politicians, they make the laws. They can affect the law a lot faster than a football player can. But the football players have that platform to get the attention of the owners of those ball clubs, who are all multi-billionaires.
Mm-hmm.
And multi-billionaires have the ability to get politicians on the phone, to bring town hall meetings together, to express their concerns and express how passionate they are, hopefully, about making a difference in the community, as far as whether it be educating police on proper procedure, or re-educating police, or whether it be educating the communities on how to interact with the police, educating the communities on how to just, so underprivileged communities that didn't get the same opportunities that, your privilege gets, to educate that group on how they can improve their lives, whether it be education, whether it be learning about the financial system, learning about banking. So if you have a small business and you want to prepare to get a small business loan, and you feel like you've been shafted because you're a minority, to educate that group on how they can, take the proper steps to be to be well educated, to get better opportunities in the future. So I just applaud the league for standing up, the NBA and the NFL. And I feel like change won't come in that regard until people that aren't affected by it, it doesn't, if you're white, it doesn't affect your kids. But if you work next to black people, if your kids go to school with black people, and you're not appalled by how your neighbor's being treated, and you simply, may have some compassion for it, or you may say, oh, I'm sorry to hear that, but you don't take action by writing your politician or complaining. Because I feel like if politicians get enough complaints from decision makers, then things will change. And so I kind of see things moving in that direction, and I'm excited about that, and I hope it continues. And I hope this is not just like lightning, and we have, it's a hot topic now, so everyone's on board with it, and then we forget about it in a year, because it's just one of those things to where if you haven't lived it, then you don't truly understand what it's like to be a black person. I mean, because you can do all the things right. In my life, I've tried to do everything right. I went to school. I do a camp for kids. I've had over 30,000 kids come through my system. I mentor these kids beyond football. It's not just football. I bring in professionals from all walks of life to mentor kids. So I feel like I'm doing more than the average man in my community to better not just black community, but I get more white kids in my camps than black kids. I get kids from all cultures. And I feel like in my own community, I can't even go to the store at night and get a carton of milk or a loaf of bread without getting pulled over and questioned for no reason. You know,
Yeah.
I pay property taxes every year. I've never been arrested, clean criminal history, do all the right things in life. And just because of your complexion, you get harassed. And so I'm just happy to see, athletes standing up, because athletes have the power. You know, America loves their sports. You take those sports away from them, it's going to wake them up. And I think that's what I like to speak about.
Well, very powerful, and definitely something that we're going to continue to talk about. It's never going to go away. That's why we have the PlayCallers podcast now.
Yeah.
Coach Williams, tell me what's going on in your mind these days. What do you want to talk about? It's open floor.
Well, you know, the subject that has been on my mind here recently and over the last couple of months has been, you know, the fact that we're playing football today at the high school and college level with the COVID issue that we have going on. And, you know, that's, you know, I'll first start by saying that at the pro level, I feel like those guys, you know, they can make decisions because they're pros. I mean, those guys get paid. You know, those guys have families to take care of. Those guys are in a position, as far as I'm concerned, to make a decision as to what they want to do. And there was even some guys at that level that opted out of playing this year. So, you know, gives you, you know, even supports what I'm saying, is that those guys can make a qualified decision for themselves and their families. But when you talk about the high school level and the college level, I mean, just my opinion, but we are all over the place right now. I mean, nobody's on the same page. The governing bodies of these deals are not setting any standards for everybody. Everybody's kind of doing it, you know, in their local way, you know. And I just felt like that, you know, if we couldn't get on page, you know, if we couldn't get on the same page to have fall football, I mean, and we've had some issues, you know, with kids who've gotten and contracted COVID. It was going on throughout the summer workouts and at both the high school level and the college level. And as we sit now, we just don't really know where we're at. You know, who's responsible for people's children? You know, I mean, as a head coach, I spent a lot of years, you know, as a pro level head coach in the arena leagues, and even at that level, I'm responsible for, you know, for the kids that I'm coaching. I mean, so I can only imagine, you know, as a high school coach and as a college coach, that level of, you know, the responsibility should even be heightened for those guys. So to me, when you don't have the answers, when we're kind of just, you know, feeling our way through it, and it's your job to go and explain to a parent why a kid has contracted this disease, you know, or why this kid is now sick, you know, that's a major thing. And I just think that, you know, you always err on the side of caution. It's no different than, you know, are we going to go outside and practice when it's lightning? I mean, we can practice when it's raining, you know, but when it starts to lighten, you know, when the lightning starts to strike, you know, we got to make a choice, get these kids off the field and get them to a safe area. Same thing here, man. You're responsible for kids. You're responsible for families by having their kids in your care. And I just don't think you can not go with erring on the side of caution, or at least pushing ourselves back to the spring. Let's all get on the same page. Let's all practice the same protocols. Let's all do the same things together. Let the governing bodies actually, you know, step up and do something and put some rules in place that we all follow, you know, and I think we would be in a better place. So that's my soapbox of where I am now, and trust me, that's coming from a football guy who, you know, who thinks, you know, we can practice and play in any conditions. Yeah. But right now I'm not feeling very confident about that.
So you don't think there should be a season because of this whole COVID and pandemic issue that we have? You're thinking they should have just put it off till the spring?
I think they all should have not. No, we're not talking pros. I mean, but the college and high schools, I think they should have pushed it back to the spring, and almost forced the governing bodies to let's get in unison. I mean, the SEC is doing it one way. You know, Conference USA, the Sun Belt's doing it another way. You know, high schools in Alabama are doing it one way. Florida kids are doing it another way. I mean, I just think we're not in a place where we're really, you know, making sure that we're all doing the right thing, and we're playing with fire, man. I'm telling y'all, we're playing with some fire.
Well, thanks, coaches, for open floor and telling me what's on your mind. I look forward to next week to hearing about what's going on. There's lots to talk about here at PlayCallers podcast. And if you guys want to hear something from the coaches or you have a question, make sure you hop on our social media and ask away. And you never know, your question could be answered in the next segment.
2nd and 11. Let's go. Hey, easy now. Rambo! 59!